Hi, love. Hello, and welcome to Co-Creative Healing Journey. My name is Greta. I'm a healer, and this is a collective energy reading where we are taking the pulse on the collective. We're basically checking in with collective energy that you are in, that I am in, that everybody on the planet is experiencing. And Spirit is going to highlight some dynamic, some perspective, something major in the energy for us to be aware of and to work consciously so that we can co-create with spirit by working the energies. So I have here all my decks, picked out the first overall energy, and we will take it from there. So we have an overall energy of Diamond Tiger, of Black Moon. Second chances bring success. I love this. I absolutely love this. This is talking about an energy, a nature to the energy that I really have been feeling very, very strongly. And it's the sense that we are in a new energy. We are in a new time. We are in a new space and in a new place. And it's been very hard for me to put my finger on exactly what it is that is new because everything pretty much seems to be the same. Now, what is happening is that I am doing things differently, absolutely, and experiencing it differently. So that's what makes it different. But for this energy to come back, Spirit is highlighting one aspect of this collective energy that we are in, our collective energy environment, and that is the notion of things coming back around, things that could not happen the first time around, and the energy has matured, and now the newness of the energy has to do not necessarily with the way in which things are, so the structural aspect, or it doesn't have to do with what is there, but with how we can engage with it to get something that we haven't been able to manifest before. So there's a lot of energy around things coming back around for a second time, returns, right? It could actually be almost retrograde energy, depending on when you're watching this. This might be relevant to some of you who follow astrology and really are feeling very strongly. So if you're feeling like a retrograde energy, it would be in that area for you, that house, and so on and so forth. But it's the notion of, review, return, reevaluation, but very active in a way of trying again, in a way of trying to accomplish what we could not accomplish the first time around, because there's a whole new energy in it. And Spirit is saying, because you have the eye of the tiger, there's a different power to you. In whatever area we're going to be talking about, there's a different power to you, and it's that power that enables you now to attain to what you couldn't before, to realize what you couldn't before, to manifest what you couldn't before, so on and so forth. So we've got the big picture to qualify this, okay? We have the big picture, and then we've got higher ground. Wow. Talk about similar dynamics. Okay, so the Spirit is saying, for example, there's two dynamics here. I love it. And this is to help you differentiate what that return could be coming back around, because Spirit is showing me like a net. When you throw a net in the water, in the sea, you pull it back in, and sure, you will get fish or prawn or whatever you're aiming for, right? What you're fishing for. But sadly, with the state of the oceans, you also get tires, you get trash and things like that. So there's an energy of revival, of renewal, of things coming back around, but it requires discernment. And that's where the big picture comes in. The big picture, well, actually, both of these cards come in, but the big picture is talking about understanding and getting a lot of knowledge, a lot of clarity, a lot of input about why things couldn't happen before. What was it that was so out of place before that now has been corrected, rectified, realigned, but that really is perfect for you to take this on. And one aspect is absolutely you having the eye of the tiger. It absolutely is your level of empowerment, but there's a greater picture at play. Why do you need that empowerment in this situation, in this relationship, with this project, with this dream, with this endeavor, with this practice, with this habit, with this pattern, and so on and so forth, right? Whatever you're taking on at this time, why do you need to be who you are today, to have grown into what you've grown to, who you've grown into, in order to take this on? And that's the big picture, because the big picture is as much about a more comprehensive view, but it's also past, present, future, right? So what you couldn't do then, you can do now, but it also has to do with what you're going to do with it in the future, where it is supposed to take you, where it's supposed to lead you. And Spirit is saying it's like this: if you met it in the past, it might have taken you left what it's intended to take you right. So you didn't meet it in the past, kept going, you meet it here now, and here you have the power to co-create the direction that you want to bring it into. And then secondly, we have higher ground. And Spirit is saying a way to distinguish is that whatever comes back that is intended to unfold in this energy, in this dynamic, which is a part of what Spirit is talking to you about, basically, it's something that takes you to a higher level. You see here, I don't know if you can see it. Is it going to focus? Yay, we have here sheep. And sheep is this, what is it called? A symbol. This symbol of following along, going with the rules, and also being quite mindless. And so there's the message here that it's not about repetition, it's not about being unconscious, it's not about going along either. It's not about convention in a sense, it is about something that is an upliftment. It is something that takes you to the next level. So whatever comes back around, in order for you to really know and perceive that it's part of this energy, you have to experience that it is unfolding at a much higher degree. The energy is better, the situation is better, the circumstances are better. It is bringing more love to you, more value, more passion, more drive. If it's a relationship, there's more honesty, there's more clarity, there's more flow, there's more connection, there's more harmony. And again, harmony for me is how we are in alignment with the energy. So absolutely harmony is an aspect of it, but it just has to feel like something that is nurturing you, driving you, pushing you, guiding you into a higher experience of yourself and life, into a higher direction, as opposed to something that might be same old, right? Is it a pattern that's coming back around, or is it ascension, upliftment, elevation? Ah, beautiful, beautiful. So what is especially important in this energy the Spirit would like us to focus on, and I am being guided to give it a good shuffle. There's a good shuffle. So there's something about taking the time to really understand what matters and what is important. What is important comes from our heart. Our heart is a guidance center, and it tells us what we love, what we value. It shows us the truth of that. And so there's this aspect of taking the time to get, oh, nice, taking the time to get our heart on board. And as soon as I get to it, then the shuffling is done, right? So it's that kind of energy. Once you understand why it came back around, in the sense of why it is important, what has value to you, what it is to you, that connection through the heart of love, of value, of importance, of passion, of care. Why do you care? That's our heart center. When you're in awareness of that, that's when you're going to be able to really see both the big picture and the higher ground, and also just know how to move forward in the situation and circumstance. So let's see what Spirit wants us to focus on, especially in this dynamic. We have orphaned. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. We have round and round. And we've got breathe upside down. Interesting. Okay. Did not see any of these coming, actually. And that's the thing about this energy. It's almost counterintuitive. It's almost counterintuitive, because with this card, Orphan, Spirit is saying it's like you have to have the willingness to go into a space of hurt, a space even of lack, and a space of having felt denied the first time around. And there has to be the willingness to go into that space, because oftentimes we shut off those things, or we go into denial, or we give up on things. And so there's an energy of having given up on some degree, on some level. And especially with orphaned, it's almost like feeling abandoned by the universe, having this feeling that Spirit denied you. Spirit, there's an energy almost of neglect, but really feeling like I was not allowed to have that. I really, really, really wanted it. I dreamt about it. I tried for it. I went for it, but I was denied. I gave it my all. I was denied. I couldn't win for trying. I tried and tried and tried. There's this energy of having poured a lot into it. And orphaned is definitely coming through with the energy of being orphaned by Spirit, by the universe. For some of you, it could also be having been let down by a certain organization, a certain person, a certain family member, a loved one, a friend, someone you looked up to, and having them let you down, and then feeling abandoned because of it. Incredibly let down, incredibly disappointed. Take it as resonates. It's more or less, there's a gradient. For some of you, this is complete heartbreak and feeling devastated, and even maybe being left in a situation where you were devastated, financially devastated, personally devastated, emotionally devastated. And then we've got round and round is there's the energy of patterns, right? It just showed up. It is undeniably an energy of patterns, a card that talks about pattern. But you see how, oh my God, I love this. I didn't know where the message was going to go. And then it went there, and it's beautiful. I don't know if it's going to focus, but in the middle of the card, and all of these cards in the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, there is spirit inside the card. And so it's the understanding that spirit is part of the pattern. This could also be, again, for those of you where it resonates with astrology, a lot of Saturn energy, having been in a Saturn cycle, but the notion of having to have certain lessons and spirit orchestrating certain cycles, certain patterns. Yeah, a cycle. Okay, that's true. You know, one of the things about being in an energy cycle, and you know, you either have the experience or you don't, and it speaks to you or it doesn't, which is fine. But the thing about being an energy cycle, you cannot have certain things within that cycle, and try as you may, the energy doesn't support it. And so that's also where the notion of new energy is that now the energy is supportive of what it is that you really, really, really wanted. But spirit is saying the fact that you experienced it as a devastation, an abandonment, in this way where it brought you so low, was precisely the sign that you were not ready to receive it back then. It is not to blame you. It is not to put you down. It is not your fault. It simply was a fact of how things were. And so if you had received it then you would not have been able to handle it. And so it is the nature of the universe. It's the nature of the cycles that we're in to support our highest good. And that's why it's going to be particularly uplifting for you in this cycle, because it's coming to you in alignment with your highest good. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. And there's just nothing with breathe upside down. This is a card, when you read it upside down, and in this deck, when the cards are upside down, it's a protection. So again, there's that energy of protection coming in. And look at this being, just being completely chilled. But upside down, it talks about having been in a state of rest that even went into apathy and coming out of it. So that's what spirit is saying. It's like there's a space of having rationalized, of having dealt with the abandonment, the disappointment, the devastation, in a sense where, to make sense of it, it was like, well, I wasn't allowed to have it. It wasn't meant to be. And then spirit is saying that actually went into a form of apathy. It's a form of giving up. And it wasn't that you were intended to give up. It just wasn't the right, not just the right time, but the right space for you. It wasn't the right alignment for you. You were not where you needed to be for yourself in order to have that. It doesn't have to do with anybody else. It's all about you and love for you. And so it's important to come out of a space of apathy, of rationalizations, however you've made sense of this, and get up and go and try again, reach for it again, go for it again. And that is hard, easier said than done. Absolutely, absolutely. But you got the eye of the tiger. So I forgot to line up the tarot, so it's a little bit outside of the frame, but it's here. It's been here all along. Well, not all along, but it's here. Okay. Let's go deeper. Yeah, spirit just reminded me, like, no, you're talking to people who have the eye of the tiger. That hunger, that desire is still there. It's a tiger. It's not a lion. Lions will sleep about 20 hours a day. Symbolically, it came through as a tiger. It's a very, very different kind of energy. So we've got Three of Wands. We have got, the Wheel of Fortune. Yeah. Oh, I love this. Nine of Swords. Yeah. And Five of Wands. Okay. So with the Three of Wands, the prognosis is good. It's this energy that's coming in and saying, any way you look at it, the prognosis is good. A Three of Wands is a card where there is cause for optimism. Ships are coming in. Things are going in a favorable direction, looking to the future, with hope, with optimism, with aspirations, aspiring to great things. And Spirit is saying you can do that. You can aspire to great things in this situation because you've got the energy on your side. You have the wheel of fortune on your side. Where you were down, where you were struggling, where it was incredibly difficult to get what it is that you want, you're now coming in space where you're going to be up top. The energy has turned. It has turned. It is not, it is turning. It has turned. And you're now with the ability to succeed in this situation, to be on top, and again to manifest. And not just to manifest with any old energy, you have the wheel of fortune on your side. And the wheel of fortune is a continually moving energy, round and round. So even if you try and it doesn't work, as long as you don't give up, as long as you keep trying, the wheel is going to turn it in your favor. It's going to turn it in your favor. And even if you try and things seem to go poorly, it's actually the energy working in your favor, because that's the nature of the cycle. That's the nature of the energy that you're in. And that's why it's very important to discern the situation that we are talking about, because you could have a situation that is not in your highest good and it's not going well, but then you try to keep going with it. But that's not what the energy is about. That's not where this kind of optimism is not something that you are intended to aspire to, because it's not going to be supported. It's not in alignment with your highest good. But what is in alignment with your highest good, what you are aspiring to, what you do want to create for yourself, you're going to have so much backup from Spirit. You're going to have so much it's not even just positive energy, it is blessings energy, it's auspicious energy, it's triumphant energy. And there is this energy also of it is your due. Spirit loves you so much. The universe loves you so much. You're a beloved child of the universe, because the nature of all reality, true reality, is love. And so the universe wants you to have everything that serves your highest good. Not in that cycle, but in this cycle. So there's this energy of having, as much as you have felt denied, the universe didn't like denying you. So there's a profound energy of like, yes, now I can give it to them. Yay, yay, yay. Okay, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. But with the Nine of Swords, this is someone who's not seeing that, someone who has their head in their hands, blinding themselves because there are a lot of thoughts. And this feels like thoughts that are coming from the past. And Nine of Swords is a lot of energy. It's the nines for me is an energy of the self. So it's the thoughts we have about ourselves. It's a lot of self-criticism, a lot of blame. Again, a sense of, what's it called? Self-fulfilling prophecies. So it's even if you try and you have a self-fulfilling prophecy that it's not going to work in some way, shape, or form, you're going to manifest that it's not working, or you're not going to see it as working. So this is a big black cloud of this energy that is still here, that is still around. And, I would say it's basically why Spirit brought you to this reading, to make you aware of it, and of course to help you to heal it, clear it, and move on, because it's creating Five of Wands energy. It's putting you out of odds with the energetic environment, but your cycle, what cycle you're in. It's like the cycle maybe has this one and saying, let's go here, and then you're there. And the thing about Five of Wands, for me, it's a card of difference, and it's about handling the difference well. But when we don't handle the difference well, we're in power struggles, or we are trying to control, or we're trying to kind of force people to be a certain way, right? And so here, it's like you're forcing the cycle, or you're forcing things to end up the same because you think that they are. So what more do you want to add, Spirit, please? And again, Nine of Swords, blame, self-blame. It just is in a space of, the rationalization that you made about why it didn't happen the first time around. If you dig deep enough, you might be pointing fingers. It's this person, it's this organization, it's this rule, it's this, that. But if you dig deeply enough, you're going to find that you're blaming yourself in some way, shape, or form. And that is completely at odds with the energy that is here, because it's absolutely A, it's not your fault. And B, it is absolutely something that wants to give itself to you now. So let's see. We've got see, Ace of Cups. Spirit wants to just give you this. Here, have it. Please, have it. Please. I never said you could never have it. It just didn't fit then, but a Spirit just absolutely wants you to have this. Now. Now. Okay. We've got Seven of Swords. Eight of Swords. So we have 7, 8, and 9 of Swords. Gemini energy, interesting. We have got Major Arcana number 13, the Death card. So, what say you? Yeah. With the Seven of Swords here, there's don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. Look, see how the cards came out. This Seven of Swords person is headed towards what Spirit wants to give them. You're headed towards what Spirit wants to give you no matter what. You may think that you're not, and even at the level of your rationalization, you think that you might be able to put off where you're headed anyway by refusing it, right? You're overthinking it. You're focused on your thoughts. You're focused on your rationalizations, but it doesn't matter. You're headed towards it anyway, energetically, because the pull of the universe is far stronger than the pull of your thoughts. Never thought about it in that way. Never heard that, but I love it. Spirit's pull is far stronger than the pull of your thinking, than the rabbit hole you can go through in your thinking. And so this energy of the Seven of Swords is ultimately the same energy kind of the Five of Wands. Is being in misalignment. It's putting yourself in an awkward position. You know, heading forward, looking back, that's an awkward position to be in. It's not comfortable. But in the grand scheme of things, it's also immaterial, because you're still going to go towards this beautiful gift, this gift of abundance. With the Ace of Cups, there's this energy of it being incredibly fulfilling. This is divine level fulfillment that we can experience in this life. This is the essence of perfection. When things are perfect, not perfect realized, like everything looks a certain way and works a certain way and is the way that we think that it should be, but perfect in the sense that it is that essence, and we just experience, we know within ourselves, oh, this is perfect. It could be a moment, it could be an experience. This is just a perfect fit. You're headed towards that. But of course, in the sense of everything we've been talking about, of course, there is a mental misalignment with the truth of that, right? With the perfection. You're not recognizing the perfection because you're thinking about things in a certain way. And that's what Spirit is saying, that way of thinking is deceptive, and it's tying you up and confusing you more than anything else. But we have got Major Arcana number 13 closing out the dance. And Major Arcana number 13 is it's an energy of ego death. So of course not ego death. You need an ego. We all need an ego to be healthy. If we don't have a healthy ego, we have borderline personality disorder. So it's not that, but it's much more it's like this energy of the ego no longer being in control. And for me, the fives are definitely they're my ego cards. So it's like a negative ego, but yeah, it's like when your ego has taken over as a kind of response and a kind of way of making sense, which makes sense. There was no greater answer for you to rely on, or to receive, or to experience, or to have. It's coming now. It's coming in this energy, and as part of this energy and what you're going to do with it. But you didn't have that before. So the ego had to do what it does best, which is to make sense and to rationalize and to explain, to give us a sense of what on earth is going on in our reality, really literally what on earth is going on. But here the death card is talking about an end to you relying on that and being able to call on a higher level perspective, which is the perspective of the Spirit. And in this death card, you can see the rider is moving away from what is diseased, moving past it and into a brighter experience, into a brighter future. See how the people here are diseased? Yeah, there you go. It's going to take some time for you to see it. It's going to take some time for you to understand because the flag here, the white rose, represents the divine love, the higher ground. It's gonna take, it's gonna take something for you to understand that you're better off with it not happening then, that you're better off with it happening now. And the process of you dying to the old understanding, letting that old understanding die, not giving it energy, not feeding it through overthinking or through misaligned perceptions, is going to allow it to move out and for this new higher perspective to move in. It's a process, in other words. It's a process. Because again, for some of you, this was very devastating. This was very, very life-changing. It was very heavy. It was devastating once more. So it could take some time to make sense of it. And if it was something more minor, then it's going to be easier. And also Spirit is saying, it's not necessarily going to be just one thing. So there are minor situations in which it's going to be a lot easier to get that clarity. And then there are going to be heavier things where it's going to take more time. And that is perfectly okay. That's perfectly all right. It's, again, that notion. When you build a brick wall, right, the more you take your time with it and lay the bricks and then lay the mortar and allow things the time to dry and things, and you're building it up brick by brick from the ground, the more sturdy that wall will be. And it's the same kind of energy here. For those big things, it's gonna take time. I'm just repeating it, but I'm being guided to. For those big things, it's gonna take some time for that big picture and the higher ground perspective to come in. And that's, organic. It's natural. There's a big healing process here that underlies the shift and the transformation that is going to allow you to just go and triumph and succeed and be where you want to be ultimately. So let's get you some advice for that process. We've got surrender to miracles. Yay! Let's look at the 3 cards all at once. We've got surrender your desire to control people, and I would say situations also. And then we've got surrender stubbornness. How appropriate. Okay. Surrender miracles. The card says, be open to miracles occurring in your life. Feel and know that these events are real. Let go of any resistance and banish any doubt that miracles can happen. First thing, you have to, right on top of the orphaned, Spirit is guiding you, giving you the advice to at least be aware and to actively choose to stop thinking about the situation, the circumstance, the relationship, the dynamic, whatever's coming back around or has come back around, to avoid thinking about it in terms of it being hopeless. This is never going to happen. I would never return to that. I would never choose that again. I would never choose them again. I would never do that again. Never, 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 never. Because you can have a miraculous outcome. Basically what Spirit is saying is that the basis upon which this cannot work, it can be worked on through miracles. It can be uplifted through miraculous events. So again, this is not something that you need to do. It's something basically you need to receive. So you need to be open to receiving it. And that's all Spirit is saying. Just be open to the possibility that Spirit can miraculously turn things around in the situation, in the circumstance, in the dynamic, and also at a higher level with this Wheel of Fortune, that Spirit can make things happen for you. So one of the a saying that I love is worry is imagining the future without God. And so it's Spirit is saying imagining failure in this situation is imagining the future without me, without Spirit, without the universe's influence and infinite capabilities. I'm just laughing. I'm being shown like a billboard, when you drive past a road and you have these billboard ads, and I'm just seeing Spirit advertising. I can create miracles. Be open to them in this situation. Again, it's not something that you can create. You can be open or not. The miracles are still going to come. What we're speaking to here is your free will. It's how you experience the situation. So we've got surrender your desire to control people. And this card says, being over controlling can sabotage relationships. And again, I won't say situations. To more effectively achieve your goals, back off, regroup, and give the situation some breathing room. Yes. The message here is that part of what is going to be able to, is going to be make you able to receive this miracle is for you to forego a very strict and narrow definition of what it is. So that would be the control. If it is a situation, what will it take for me to be happy in this situation? Be loose with that. What will it take for me to rekindle this friendship, this work situation, this thingy? Be loose with that. It's not saying to lower your standards. It's not saying any of that. But it's just like you don't really know the big picture of things, and you need that big picture to see situations and circumstances. For example, I'm getting this example where it's a relationship and you needed to be more empowered to be in the same relationship with the same person, and where you would go, I'm never going to be with this person, they're far too let's say pushy, they're far too controlling, I do not want to be with this person. Well, where you were less strong, where you were weaker, you would experience them as being controlling. When you're stronger and you come face to face with this person, then you can experience their energy and their input as being forceful, as being passionate. And it's a very different experience. Or they're still controlling, but you can put them in their place and it works out. Do you know what I mean? It's not to excuse dysfunction. And again, once more, that's why you have to be very, very discerning about whether or not the situation, circumstances, relationships is part of the energy that spirit is talking about, right? This is not a license to go back into dysfunction. This is saying that you've changed and you've grown and you've evolved, and so you need very different things from the situation, from the relationship, from the circumstances than you did before, because you're just so much more powerful now. That's wow. I love that. Good for you also. And then finally we have surrender, stubbornness. And that's the thing of it. That's the core of it. Yeah, it's awesome that this is coming back around. Yay, bully for it, go for it. But at the core of it, it's just so much more awesome that you're in a better place, in a better position. Yay. So, surrender, stubbornness. If you're tensing up or taking a rigid stance about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate more lovingly with others and yourself. Yeah, surrender, stubbornness. Yeah, we're back to this core thing. This is happening. And it's very important also in terms of learning how to be powerful and how to manage your power, to be able to discern whether you're being powerful, empowered, or you're being stubborn. Are you being strong, or are you being rigid? And that's the thing that spirit is inviting you to check. When you surrender stubbornness, because stubbornness is also a defense mechanism, it is one of those things. I recognize that one so clear. Like, for example, I remember learning that, I don't have to be actively mad at someone or focus on their bad traits for me to have good boundaries with them. And it's because I felt weak, so I would kind of amp up how horrible the people were or how they had behaved to make sure that I was going to set my boundaries with them and keep those boundaries. Because otherwise I would just be, forgiving and loving and just be like, oh, it doesn't matter, in a way, which I also interpreted as weakness. But the point is that stubbornness in those cases, it wasn't justified, it wasn't warranted, it was just defensive, and the defensiveness comes from weakness, and you don't need that. So this is also just advice. We're saying check yourself, right? And this is also how you're going to be able to distinguish is it this situation or that situation. Are you being stubborn in this situation, or is it a true boundary? Is it a true choice? Is it an empowered choice, right? Are you just in an empowered way, or are you just deselecting the situation, the circumstance? Or are you stubbornly refusing to go back there again for, deeper underlying reasons? So let's get you some outcomes. We've got embracing enthusiasm, shout to the heavens with happiness. That makes sense? Yeah. We've got unknown territory. You are exactly where you need to be. And I love how they fit together. And finally, we've got desert passage. Trust that there is a divine plan. So Embracing enthusiasm, this is spirit saying, no matter what, at the end of the day, at the end of this journey, when all is said and done, right, when things have unfolded as they will, you're going to be very, very happy with this, with the outcome. You're going to get very, very happy with what you get, where you end up, and so on. And we have all these butterflies, and the butterflies are representing change and transformation. There's change and transformation in you that you're going to realize, and that's what's going to make you so happy. It's you being very happy with what you receive, what you where you end up, and so on. Absolutely. But at the end of the day, the greatest change will be, or the greatest happiness will come from how you have changed in the situation and circumstance. And also with the butterflies, I feel like it's going to open up to other options, other opportunities, things you did not even know that you were, the word that's coming through is qualified for, that you were aligned with. Then we've got unknown territory. Yeah. Oh, beautiful. This is acceptance. This is acceptance. This is understanding. This is trust. And we do have trust that there's a divine plan here. But this is, yes, I am where I didn't want to be. Things started out like, I mean, kind of through this process. I didn't want it to go this way. But at the end of the day, I am happy with how everything worked out. And Spirit is saying that's unknown territory to you. Now, it is that because what you're going to get, the way in which everything is going to fit together, this big picture level, this ascension, this higher level, you it's going to be unlike anything you've ever known. And so this is such an important journey. This is a beautiful journey to go on. It's a beautiful experience to have, and to be able to succeed at, which you will. And it's going to take you into a level of life and an experience of yourself, an experience of reality that you have never known, that you aren't even imagining possible, because you know what, at its core lies some very miraculous Wheel of Fortune energy. Beautiful. And then finally there's Desert Passage, and it's a journey. Again, it's a journey. Trust that there's a divine plan, and this is a journey. You know, if you see this person, they are just starting out, coming out from a very narrow space, very constricted space, up into a big expanse, and not seeing necessarily how things are going to work out, where this is going to go. And so this is not a space of unknown territory. Also speaks to that. It's not a space of certainty. It's not a space where you know 100% that um, it's gonna, you don't know 100% how it's gonna work out, but you're gonna learn that it is gonna work out. And I feel like this is a lot speaking to this energy about how you're gonna take this into the future, taking it into different areas of life where you're just going to have tangible, realized experience that there is a divine plan at work. You know, at least for you, at least in your life, and you're going to take that knowledge and you know, take it to the next level, move on with it. So love, that was your reading. Yay. That was the reading, and I do have a takeaway message, and the takeaway message is William Morris. And so let's read the text first and see what we do. Bad truth makes good fantasy. Yeah. To be prolific, be versatile. Art is the methadone of the masses, and it's definitely the first one. Bad truth makes good fantasy. You are currently believing something that is not true about something that is so important to you, so important to your heart, something that you love, something that you are driven to manifest, to bring into this world, to have, to experience. And that is important, that matters. And so be aware of that. There's just some degree to which you're not seeing the situation or circumstance in with clarity, but you will. And you see here there's two swans behind him or on the sides, and the swans represent belonging, being together, because they mate for life. So or symbolically they do, but it's this energy of, yeah, belonging. Whatever the situation, the circumstance, this dynamic, this relationship, this project, this dream is, it belongs with you, and that matters. And don't let a bad truth, an inaccurate perception of who you are, of how things went, of what's possible for you in this situation, don't let it keep you from experiencing, realizing, manifesting what is yours. It belongs with you. So, love, that was the reading. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I will keep doing them every so often, looking at different types of energies, whatever Spirit wants to bring through. And I had a wonderful time with you. I hope that you did too. If you enjoyed the reading, please like, comment, share, subscribe. And if you want more in depth reading, I do offer intuitive readings where we work on your soul connection, we work on self love, we work on love and relationships, and we work on life purpose. And I've also created some healing work that is all written out where you can do some powerful healing work on yourself. And it is all there in the description box if it speaks to you. So, love. Lots of love to you. May you be blessed always and in always. And I will be seeing you around. Bye.